Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you the fragrances that I wore for the week. And seemingly I wore an awful lot this week, so I can't wait to share. But before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. So first, I want to share with you the fragrance that I wore on Mother's Day. For me, Mother's Day is really special because I never thought I'd get to be a mom, and I actually had accepted it. I wasn't like always sad about it, but whenever Mother's Day would roll around, I'd feel a little bit sad. I always was happy to celebrate other moms, so it wasn't that, but there's always this sadness inside, which I totally, I think anybody that has struggled with fertility or been infertile understands. So when I got the opportunity to be a mom, it was so amazing. What was so cool is that we took an adoption course the weekend of Mother's Day, 2006. And we decided on the Saturday before Mother's Day that yes, for sure, we were going to adopt. And so we announced it, that we were starting the process on Mother's Day of 2006. So Mother's Day is not only a day that we celebrate being a mother, but essentially it was kind of a version of conception for my husband and I, because that's the day that we decided to start the adoption process. Yay! And seriously, it's been the best thing that we ever did. Like amazing. If you guys ever want to hear the adoption story and just kind of how it all came back, or if you want to hear about infertility, let me know, because I've experienced both. Those of you that have watched for a while know exactly what fragrance I wore, and it was Mon Guerlain. So this is sweet, it's lavender, it's floral, it's feminine, it's classy, there's a bit of powder to it. It's just a beautiful fragrance. It always reminds me of being a mom because of the lavender in it. I find it really relaxing. The lavender can be off-putting, and there's also like licorice, I think, in this one. So it's a little bit herbaceous. Some people actually find this one quite masculine. But I think it's super feminine, so go figure. But I love it. This fragrance was just a blast to wear. For the full day, I enjoyed it, and it is Issey Miyake's L'Odyssey Rose and Rose. First of all, I never hear this one talked about. So L'Odyssey is a very popular line, smells kind of musky, aquatic. I really like L'Odyssey. I like L'Odyssey Pure Nectar. That's really nice for summer. I've smelt it, but honestly, this Rose and Rose is my best. First of all, I really enjoy rose. This is an eau de toilette, I believe. It smells like a musky, jammy rose fragrance. So there's some raspberry in here, which is also one of my favorite notes. Really enjoy the rose in here. There is a slight powdery quality. It is a bit musky. It's a bit tart as well. A little bit jammy, it's very, very nice and perfect for the warmer weather. I absolutely love this one. I love the fact that you could use it as a weapon. Like if you had it in your purse, I'm sure that this could do some damage, like only if you need to, only if you're being attacked, boom, this would work. Or you could use it as a bat, like on so many levels. This is a handy bottle to have, but I actually don't even mind the weirdness of the thing. This is the 50 ml, which is nice because then it's not too tall. It actually has raspberry and pear. I don't know if I noticed the pear. I definitely noticed the raspberry more. It's got osmanthus in it as well as the rose, which kind of sweetens it up a little bit, gives it that more jammy feel. It's got cashmere, wood, amber, and patchouli. But for me, this just feels kind of musky. It's somehow airy, I just think it's a beautiful fragrance. You get a beautiful sillage with it, a beautiful scent bubble. And what I find is, even though it's an eau de toilette, I get at least 5 hours out of this. And I just really enjoy the projection on this. It's a very bright, happy, cheery, energizing fragrance. Love it. Okay, a fragrance that I wore to bed twice was Angel Muse EDT. Now I'm starting to feel bad about even mentioning these because they're harder and harder to find. This one is different because it has, I believe, guava or passion fruit in the opening, as opposed to the grapefruit and lemon of the EDP. So this is a little bit more fruity. It's also got a little bit more of a chocolate flair, but it still has the original DNA of Angel Muse, but the patchouli is kind of toned down slightly. So I love this one. I enjoy wearing it. It's not quite as heavy as the EDP, but it still gives me that sensual kind of chocolate hazelnut vibe, paired just with a little bit of a brighter, less tart fruit. It's gorgeous. It's a little more palatable for some people than the original. I like both of them. This one's a great option for spring and summer. And yeah, with that chocolate hazelnut, oh, it's just so yummy. Another one that I've been wearing to bed nonstop is Lolita Lempica's Sweet. I've said this before, it smells like Lick-a-Sticks from the 80s. The powder, the cherry powder, that's what it smells like. This is a guilty pleasure because it's very, very synthetic. It's kind of honestly cheap smelling to me, but I enjoy it so much. Like I just love the powdered cherry sugar feel that I get on my skin. Somehow it feels relaxing and I don't know, comforting somehow. So I really enjoy wearing this one to bed, but honestly, it's a fun one to wear in the major heat because it's really quite light. So if you like cherry powder candy, you would like this. Now, one fragrance that I didn't really enjoy wearing was Angel Iced Star. I really enjoy the smell of this fragrance. So to me, it's got some pineapple, some coconut. This smells like, I imagine, like if you had a pineapple coconut ice, shaved, that's what this reminds me of. So the iced name in this to me is great. The only thing about this one is it just doesn't last long. So I put it on for an evening, but honestly, it didn't even project that much. So I was really kind of disappointed because I wanted to smell just a little bit juicy and delicious and pineapple-y. So it was a little bit of a disappointment. This one works really well if there's a bit of heat and it just kind of, but it's very, very short-lived, very short-lived. So I think that next time I would pair it with, I've got Pink Pineapple Sunrise by Bath & Body Works, or I'm going to buy a big bottle of this Hemp's Sweet Pineapple and Honey Melon for this year. This is such a fantastic pineapple lotion. So it's got the pineapple primarily with some melon. So this combination is really good. It kind of helps this last a little bit longer. I sprayed this on my clothes and everything. I was really disappointed in the performance across the board. So from the longevity to just everything, it was really mediocre. Now, what I did pair this Sweet Pineapple and Honey Melon with was Amber Oud Gold Edition by Al Haramain. Now this one has pineapple, it's got melon, there's fruity notes, kind of looks like candy on Fragrantica. There's some woodiness in this, a little bit of vanilla. This is a beautiful fragrance. I find it sometimes a little too sweet. The wood can really come to play on my skin. So I get that melon more than the pineapple. And then the woods really start to come out. So pairing it with this lotion really helps amp up the pineapple, because what I really want is a really excellent pineapple fragrance. So this gives it to me a little bit. Sometimes I find this one juicy. Sometimes I find it a little too woody. So it depends, I think, on the weather. Overall, it's a decent enough fragrance. Lots of people love it. It's supposed to be very similar to Xerjoff's Yerba Pura. I haven't smelled Yerba Pura in a long time, so I can't really weigh in on that, but I think they are fairly similar. It's not my favorite DNA, to be honest. So I have one other fragrance that kind of has the same DNA. It's okay, but I'm not in love with it. Somehow it does something in my nasal passages. So sometimes fragrances kind of give me a, and so this one sometimes does it. I don't really like this one on its own, but paired with something more pineapple and more sweet, it definitely works and gives me enough juiciness that I'm happy. Now, the next fragrance I wore was Nishane's Wulong Cha. Now, this is a tea fragrance. So it's very fresh. It's got a bit of a mouth-watering quality. It's got bergamot and orange in the opening, so there's a little bit of that kind of citrus. It's a little bit of a cold feeling fragrance, but it works amazing in the heat because it just has kind of a cooling, relaxing, spa-like vibe to it. It's got oolong tea and nutmeg in the heart. Definitely get that tea vibe from it for sure. And then in the base, it's got fig and musk. This one, for a tea fragrance, like, I don't know about you guys, but I've never found tea fragrances to be overly long lasting. So it wasn't a major projector for me. Like, at first I could smell it and I could smell it on my skin for a decent amount of time, but it didn't, you know, after about half an hour, I didn't find that I noticed it much unless I went up to sniff it. Everybody's different in the way fragrances wear. I think that this is a beautiful tea fragrance. I prefer this by far, like head and shoulders above something like White Tea by Elizabeth Arden, that kind of gives a similar vibe. This is so much smoother. There's a richness to this that I really appreciate. There's a little bit more substance to it. So I really, really enjoy this fragrance. I don't find the longevity to be amazing on this. I know some people, like on Fragrantica, for instance, it says that it's really long lasting. It's really long lasting as a skin scent on me. So after about half an hour of pretty decent projection or performance, it goes to more of a skin scent. So I think that this is perfect for hot weather because it's going to be relaxing. It's going to be refreshing. It's not going to be overpowering. So this would also make an amazing work fragrance, in my opinion. Last fragrance that I just could not get over was OKCHA's Sweet Addict. This is an inspired version of Love Don't Be Shy. More and more, I'm just absolutely loving this DNA. I have a little decant of Love Don't Be Shy, and I want to try and compare them again just to see what the longevity was like. I got over 12 hours out of this one. I kept getting whiffs of it throughout the day, and seriously, I could not wear anything else. I like to change it up every once in a while. Couldn't wear anything else because this was so potent. It just kept on going and going and going. I recently smelt Love Don't Be Shy, didn't put it on. I find that it's got a little bit more of a marshmallow, a little bit of a sweeter orange blossom feel, whereas this feels a little bit sharp, but as it dries down, you get the same vibe out of it. I cannot believe the performance on this OKCHA version. Literally phenomenal. So I just was so impressed. I can't speak to the longevity on Love Don't Be Shy. If you have Love Don't Be Shy, weigh in. If you have both of them, weigh in and say which one you like better. If you think that there's a major difference, let us know in the comments. But yeah, I could not believe how good this thing performed. So really glad to have it in my collection. Really enjoyed wearing this one this week. I just loved smelling like a delicious orange blossom marshmallow. So highlight of the week, I would say, was this one for sure. So actually for highlights this week, Angel Muse EDT, Low Dissy Rose and Rose, and then Sweet Addict from OKCHA. These were the major hits. I can't even get over how much I enjoyed wearing all three of these. So really fun. I seriously consider this an underrated fragrance. Like it's just such a great fragrance for summer. So I wish that it was maybe hyped a little bit more because I think more people would enjoy this. But yeah, I think that this is a phenomenal fragrance for summer. And other than that, that is it. I'm into the juiciness lately. I'm into the juicy, I'm into the sweet, I'm into the floral. What are you into? Leave it in the comments. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week and we'll talk to you soon.